Hi. Hello. So, at the moment, I am currently standing on one of my most expensive packages with a whopping grand total of, yeah. So, maybe not the most reasonable purchase, but you will see why in a minute. So, I promise you there is a reason. But I saw this on Facebook Marketplace, and originally it was $300. I said I was gonna wait. It went down to $100, and I was like, okay, I see it going down, so this is legit. And it just came, and it took a while to get here because there was a lot of issues with the payment. So I'm not really gonna go back to the seller, but I won't list them here for their privacy. But they're a new seller, and there was just a lot of issues, so I'm not going to go back to them. But I saw this, and I was like, okay, I have to snag this opportunity. Let's just hope it's real, and it finally arrived. So let's get to it. I'm keeping the paper on up until I open it, but and it's all pink. So the seller very kindly ended up bubble wrapping everything, besides a couple of pets, but there's a lot. I think there's a lot more in here. There's supposed to be 19, but it looks more than 19. So we're gonna figure it out. Alright, so let's take a look at these two girls. I was very excited for the Chihuahuas. They were always a childhood favorite mold of mine, but now they're being sold for like $15, $20, so I can't compensate for buying that much for a singular pet. So when I saw them, this is part of the reason why I wanted them, even if one of them is the homophobic Chihuahua. So not a good timing for Pride Month. Anyway, but no, I'm just kidding. She is a very beautiful pet. I love her brown color, her ears, everything, the blue eyes, and she is authentic. So, excuse me, that's the first pet. This Chihuahua was always a dream pet of mine. Even before the LPS 2 Day Awards, I always wanted her. She just has such a pretty beige color. Her brown eyes. I think if I was an LPS dog, this would probably be me, because I have fairly light skin and I have brown eyes, so it suits me. And she is also authentic, so that's pretty cool. Now the main stars of the show is the main 5 pets. So there's about 19 main 5 pets, 1 duplicate in that box, so it was a pretty good steal. A couple of them she did end up saying that she saw more than one was fake that she forgot to list. So this is a fake. I don't know if I'll customize her though, because she's really good as a fake, so I'm thinking about keeping her. This one is authentic, and this one is also authentic, and I can't tell if the eyes are meant to be that way, like the eyeliner. But let's take a closer look at each one, so you can tell that it's fake because of the matte eyes. And I also told the seller that you can always tell by the matte eyes and the way this is already not bobbling very good. This does have a clear peg, I think. Sorry, I had to get that out of frame, but yeah, that has a clear peg, but it is a fake. It has a magnet though, so I have to double check if this is really real or fake, but if it is a fake, I'll keep it that way. And then there's this girl. I don't know if her eyes are supposed to be that way, but every time I see this pet, her eye, like her eyeliner is always that way. And I'm gonna have to give them a clean because this one is super dusty. They were from her original collection, so that's also how I knew like most of these pets were gonna be authentic. So yeah, that's also authentic. A clear peg and a really nice wobble, and I also never had this one either, so I was also super excited for this pet. I've always wanted Daisy's pet for the longest time. It's just a super pretty pet. really nice color scheme, and I don't know, just something about this pet is so mature, so loving looking, and I love her so much. I am gonna try to fix her neck to a peg swap if I can. If anyone has any tips on that, because her neck is pretty like tilted. Like, I love my tilted pets, but this one is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so I have to move back the camera a lot because we're opening our first package. So this is 1 out of the 3, which I'm pretty impressed by. Another thing I wasn't a fan of the sellers was, after we completed the purchase, they were like, hey, I have a couple of accessories here, like 500. And I was like, okay, cool, is it included? Because I don't see it on your site. And she's like, no, it's not. So I wish that she had included it on her site, but because she didn't, I didn't purchase it from her. Okay, it's all of the collie. There we go. So I knew that all of these were probably going to be fake. Like I saw on the listing, I didn't really expect any of them to be authentic besides a couple of them. But because of the LPS market, it's so bad right now, I just told her like, hey, I really can't afford like a $60 collie right now, so I'd rather get this much LPS even if it's fake. Like, I'm glad she put everything in, but I'm still kind of upset that like most of them are fake. But like this one, I've been meaning to purchase this one for a while, and this one is so expensive. I was like, I'm gonna end up getting a fake of her anyways, especially with this collie. This collie, her price has only just now gone down, and this one I won't even bother touching because it's just so expensive. And I wanted to show you, but the red collie I do already have, so she's gonna end up being a customized base for me, so I'm pretty excited for that. And I'm not gonna lie, I can't even blame the seller for thinking that most of these were authentic, because overall they look authentic. And I think this one might be real. I'm having a tough time with this one as it is. Like, I can't really tell. I mean, her peg is white, but she feels authentic. Someone is gonna have to help me out on this one. And her eyes, I mean, I think it's her eyes. I think her eyes are too small. But I mean, I can't blame her, because even I looked at this and I was like, how many are authentic and how many are fake? Like, I can't tell. This one I'm thinking of maybe keeping as a fake, maybe not. He's like pretty bad condition for a fake. But I'd have to double check. Yeah, it's definitely fake, because also he has a hole. But I have to double check and see what his price is worth now, because it looks like his head is gonna fall off any minute, and I might just use him as a customizing base. So I was also pretty excited for this package about this girl. I think the original seller had bad intentions with LPS. I think there was like a whole thing about them. So when I saw this reseller had her, I was pretty excited, so I don't have to buy it directly off of the person. And I could tell it's legit, because like she was legitimately trying to get rid of these, because I think that's her nickname. And the collar, I'm pretty excited about the collar. And again, like I said, I'd rather spend like $300 on fakes than $60 on an LPS, because I think this price for this particular pet is still at $100 or $120. So I can't afford $120 on a singular pet. I mean, that's great for you if you can. That is fantastic, but I just can't. Also, my mic keeps cutting off on various parts of this video, so it'll be maybe like one overlay audio and one regular audio, so I apologize for that. I think my connector needs to be charged. So yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, I apologize about the overlay of the audios, but not much I can do. I'm probably just rambling as I open each pet. I'm doing that now anyways, but when I go back and edit it, that's most likely what I'm going to be doing. So, oh, she packaged them good. Okay, these I was really excited for. Short hairs. So, believe it or not, I did not buy this lot for the collies, because I know the collies, the only two expensive ones are going to be fake, so I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not going to buy it for the collies. I'm already going to keep that in mind when I go through with this purchase. What I did go through with this purchase, though, is the short hairs. I have been wanting this one for so freaking long. You have no idea. And this one, every time, actually the Summertime Beauty series, I'm like, I want this pet so bad. And I am just a sucker for short hair, so I went into this mainly for these guys. I was so thrilled because these guys each cost about $30, which I think is insane. Like, these are the prices for this pet in particular, which is crazy. So I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. I'm getting it for the short hair. Like, especially Miss Angelina Davis. She is ridiculously priced. So I knew I was going in this and I was most likely going to get her. And I also love how her body is like 2 different colors. I just think that's kind of unique. And this one has just always been such a sweet gal for me. Just, I don't know, always giving me like mom type features. So she's also authentic, so I got pretty excited to see her too. But yeah, another wishlist pet. And last but not least, for the short hairs. I got so excited for this one. Like I said, it was mainly for the short hairs because I'm such a cat person. Like the collies can be on their way. I don't care if they're authentic or not, but the short hairs. Oh, and my baby girl's authentic. Which makes it so much better. I've been wanting her for so long. You have no idea. It's like this lot is complete because all the short hairs are authentic, and that's just everything to me. So, I'm definitely getting my money back with a couple of them being not authentic, not all, but definitely a lot of them. So, and if we compare the prices from this lot to this girl's prices, with taxes too and with shipping, I am definitely so far getting my money back. And the last package is super exciting, but before I get to that one, I just wanted to let you know she also put in another little accessory, which I thought was pretty cute. So that's adorable. So this right here is my main reason for buying this lot. 2 pets with 2 pets that cost a whopping $50 each. $50. Oh, yes. And just one more. Yes. So, thankfully, I got my money back with the short hairs, the Cocker Spaniel, and the Dachshund because these are all fake. But each Great Dane on their own, even as a fake, is around $20. And I always told myself, the only time you are going to get Great Danes is if they're in a lot. It doesn't matter if they are fake, if they are authentic. That is the only way you are going to get a Great Dane. And this one I actually just bought recently, so I'm gonna end up customizing him. So that's pretty. So I could tell through the picture that this one was fake, but I'm not spending $50 on him. Kind of sucks that he's a fake, because again, I spend a lot of money on these pets, but that's okay. I knew what I was getting into. That's alright. And I'll still use them either way. And what I can probably do is, if I'm too upset by it, I can give him a couple of decals, personalize him. And knowing me, I'll probably like him better if I end up personalizing him. This guy, I don't think I even saw him in the lot. He is also fake, but he's just too expensive to get as a real pet. Like he's $50. And I don't have the money for that right now. And I was like, okay, I really need Great Danes. So when I stumbled upon this lot and I saw fake Great Danes, I was like, okay, I desperately need them. So I don't have like any guys to cast for. I have none. Like my whole LPS collection is just girls, and I was like, I need them either way. So one way or another, we're gonna have to get them. And until these guys come down to like $30, I'm unfortunately, like I said, I'm not spending $50 for LPS. That's just crazy. That's a wild amount. That's why I was really happy that the Dash Hound was authentic, because I think she's even more expensive than this guy, which is wild. Now this one, I mean, for some of them, I looked at the picture and I was definitely fooled, because I didn't even think that this one was fake, but it is. Like, you mean to tell me I'm supposed to go out there, buy an authentic version of an LPS that looks just like this? Like, look, that's fake. But honestly, if I put this apart, could you honestly tell that was fake? Like, can you tell that he's fake? Probably not, because that's just such a good mold. And that's part of why I bought this lot, because I was like, holy crap, that is such a good mold. I mean, he looks fake, but that's so good. I'm gonna buy him anyways, because he's been a dream pet. But again, for $50 each, that's basically this whole lot. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that some of the pets were not authentic, and I was supposed to get a monkey, but I already have that, so I'm not complaining in the slightest about getting a duplicate. I think she ended up replacing the monkey with the Great Dane, actually, so that's pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm most happy for the short hairs. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm thrilled that those short hairs are all authentic, because oh my god, finding a good listing for them is like hell on earth. But yeah, like I said, I probably won't be buying LPS for a while again, because the market for Great Danes are the most expensive. The market for collies are like even more. So I was like, it's either this lot or you're never gonna get the authentic LPS. So I did. I'm super happy, especially for the Dash Hound being authentic, because she was one of my favorites growing up. And even the Cocker Spaniel too. So yeah, that was actually a pretty good deal, I'm not gonna lie. But if you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. I have an Instagram, you can go check it out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.